And we're alive. Welcome to
All
the Crow's
right.
Nest. we
Oh boy.
This is
Rock and
episode
roll.
3. No, we don't have Tito, but we got a Jackson. His name's Bobby Jackson, special guest this week. And hey,
Man,
Bobby, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, but I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
What are you jealous about?
Well, I have a dumb little cartoon head, and you've got a cool live video feed.
I got a big fat head. So yeah, I like your little cartoon head. You see it bouncing around in the intro there? I was
Yeah,
adding
it's
some.
cute. It
Yeah, I
was
did.
like it was Zardoz, like flying Zardoz head. Did have I ever shown you my I don't mean to hijack your whole show here, but
That's
look,
your role, is just
uh,
to just throw a
uh,
wrench in everything. Yes.
did have I shown you my coffee mug that Gene made me?
No. Is it that head?
It's that head. Yeah.
What did he say? I
It's
got my
a
Pizza Dungeon shirt on today, so
uh,
I had to go in my dork box and grab one
I
of
do
my.
too. I'm wearing Kobold's Ate My Pizza shirt.
I thought you weren't allowed to wear T-shirts anymore. That you look like a homeless person.
Well, that's all I'm wearing.
If you're wearing some underwear and some pants too.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But then again, you're not on video, so it really doesn't matter, right?
Also
Yeah,
remember to stay close to the mic there, Proctor.
yeah.
I'm still working on my mic etiquette. I'm trying to get into the camera so people see that I'm paying attention and not looking away. So it's a little bit of a game there. So, episode 3, um, still a new thing for me. It's still a new thing for Justin. But we're trying to get all this worked out. So what are we going to do today? Well, we got Bobby Jackson on. We're going to talk to him. I wanted to show off the final results for. Do you remember her name, Bobby or Justin, the May figure? Um,
Oh, the barbarian.
yeah, barbarian chick, and that you sculpted this,
Yes, I
um,
did.
and you did a great job. You did a
Thank you.
fantastic job.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to show her off a little bit. The last time when she was on last week, I was finishing up working on some of the freehand, and then she had a base at that time, but I went ahead and added some snow base, some snow to it. And really, what the snow is, it's rock hard. Um, it is crushed glass mixed with Woodland Scenic's artificial water, and it just hardens up. So
Mm.
it's super bulletproof. So you could game with this kind of snow, and nothing would ever happen with the mini. And so yeah, she was super cool. I thought you did such a great job on a lot of a lot of everything. I really like the eyes and the face. They were really
Oh,
nice.
thanks. Yeah, she's supposed to be. What is the politically correct term for a person that's from the Far East?
Asian?
Asian. She's supposed to be Asian.
Yeah,
Well, there's
yeah,
some words you're not supposed to use, or you get accused of being a racist. I
yeah.
can't remember what they are.
Don't use the O word, but other than that, you can say Asian, or you can,
Okay, Asian.
yeah,
She's supposed to be Asian.
Asian inspired. She's kind of Mongolian, sort of, with the way her garb is. But I mean, there's
Well,
Japanese
that's Izzy.
armor. Yeah,
That's
that's true.
Izzy. Izzy did that is a 100% Izzy design. I'm just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
3D Xerox machine.
Yeah, Bobby keeps getting better and better with this sculpt. So, Skippin says that you keep improving. So, there's a vote of confidence to you. I know
All right, that's very good.
you were questioning yourself earlier this week.
Also, I'm
Your
gonna reuse
abilities.
that, Bobby. Meaty Xerox. That's fantastic.
So, what we're going to do today is we're going to chat. We're going to talk to Bobby Jackson and ask him some questions, and he's just going to vamp. I got one of the requests last week in the chat was some people ask, "Hey Gene, how are you doing?" Um, was maybe to go over some more of the beginning stages of the freehand. I was kind of already had got a lot of the basic freehand worked up, and I was just working on some of the fine points. So maybe we can do that today while we're chatting and whatnot, right? Um, what I was going to show off, and I don't know if you even seen this yet, or Bobby. He's popped up on a few of the shows so far.
Oh,
Brother
cool.
Hammond. And Brother Hammond is a Dungeon Dwellers. He reminds me of one of the old school Dungeon Dweller figures. You did a great job on him. Now,
He's pretty much a ripoff.
did you just look at
Yes, I did.
the old Heritage one and
Yes, I
go
did.
from there?
And just totally ripped it off.
So, the next one I want you to totally rip off?
Which one?
The one with the paladin holding the sword up.
I don't know that one.
I'll send you a pic. It's a paladin. He's standing there, and his arm is up, and he's got the sword blade in his hand, and he's holding it up like I don't know, like he's gonna use.
Oh, it's the one where he's holding the blade with the handle up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. That one's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's
I'll totally rip it off.
there's an elf that's in full plate that's doing a cross draw kind of thing. He's got a little round shield, and his arms like this, and he's charging.
I
I'll
don't
s-
know that one. I mean,
Oh.
I would probably know it if I saw it. I mean, they're a century old, for Pete's sake.
Oh my God. I mean, those were, and I've talked about this before, those were the first thing that I ever painted and picked up was that Dungeon Dweller set. It was in, we were moving from California to Texas, and we hadn't quite moved yet, and it was Christmas time, and we went to Michael's MJ Designs before it became the big Michael's that it is now. And I was looking for something to do, and there was a Dungeon Dwellers box on a shelf, and with a little paint kit and those little plastic flip top pots, and the big ass tester's brush and whatnot. So that was like my first thing, and those were the figures that I painted. So I always had a little special affinity to the Dungeon Dwellers line. I just thought they were so cool. Yeah. So did you play that? Were you into that at all?
My first figures were heritage figures.
Yeah.
But they were dwarves. They were designed for some, I don't know, some fantasy battle, chainmail or something, as back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little pack of 8. They were all one casting, the same sculpt. It was just 8 copies of the same guy that you're supposed to deploy in a unit, and it was eight dwarves that had pikes, held out horizontally,
Yeah.
and the pikes were about 3 times as long as the dwarves were tall. But those were the first figures I ever bought. It was like 1977.
They did some neat things, and they did they had a Lord of the Rings license for some short period of time, I think, and I liked some of
That was later. Yeah. With the movie, the animated movie.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Harry.
The Fritz the Cat guy.
Yeah, Harry. Is that the Harryhausen? No.
No. Oh, come on, bite your tongue. Harryhausen is the. Oh my gosh.
That's
no,
embarrassing.
It's not Harryhausen. That's embarrassing. Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
It's Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah, that's it. I have those. Those are really hard to watch these days.
Yeah.
They were fun to watch when we were younger.
And the Pugh. Pugh did a lot of the concept art.
Yeah.
And that stuff's great.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, cool. What else have you been working on? Are you doing something for Ron right now?
Yeah, I am. I don't know. Am I allowed to tell?
You can give hints, or you can just tell. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I mean, no.
Ron's not going to watch.
No, Ron's not.
They don't watch this show, so
No,
it's okay, guys.
nobody's minding the store. I mean, we've got what? Let me see here. We got 75
can you hear?
people watching. So yeah, I can hear you.
I'm lagging. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I got goofy lag.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just did a remake of the Kane Swiftblade figure. That's an old Sandy Garrity sculpt, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of updated him and armored him, made him bigger and more cartoony and dumber, And Sandy has very elegant proportions,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of exaggerated him and made him look a little, goofier.
Yeah. Sandy was somebody that I had hoped she was already kind of gone by the time I finagled my way into Reaper. I never really got a chance to meet her and talk to her. And I remember painting so many of her sculpts, whether they were Reaper or they were from the old Raw Partha days. So I never really got a chance to know her.
Oh yeah, that's too bad.
Not that she's
You're
not with
a
us.
little off your marker, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, am I? Is that better? So what we're going to do is we're going to just be talking to Bobby a little bit and goofing around, and then I'm going to start doing some freehand. So kind of what my thought is, and this is going to be similar to what I did with the Mongolian barbarian chick, is I print the area a dark blue, just so I can get a nice dark base coat, and pretty much everything is just, that's just going to be the base of it all. And I'll start, and this is kind of my go-to. If I don't have a hard concept of what I want to do for freehand, I'll just start making little squiggly lines. And really the squiggly lines are, let me see here, kind of just making little circles and adding other little parts, other little vines to the circle as well. I did that on my Abran character. You can see there's just a lot of little swirls and circles right now. And what that is good for is adding interest, of course, but also it saves time blending. You don't have to blend as much if you throw a bunch of freehand on there. And so it just kind of helps with the process and adds a little more, I don't know, I keep saying the word interest because I can't think of something else. But so that's just kind of where we're going to go with this piece right here. What do you think, Bobby?
I think that's great.
Well, I did have some questions for you, Bobby.
Oh, good.
All right. So one of my thoughts was sculpting has gone so digital these days, right? I mean, pretty much most people at this point, but the exception, you know, Bob and Julie are still traditional green sculptors, and they're just so awesome at it. But you were one of the first ones to really fully adopt doing the digital stuff. Why did you? I always wondered what made you go, I got to do this now? Because you were a hardcore green sculptor for a long time. What prompted you? Because just one day you showed up and you'd said, I'm not sculpting green stuff anymore. Kind of like the day when you announced that you weren't wearing T-shirts anymore. It was just out of the blue. So what prompted that decision?
Disability. I reached a point where I realized that I could not see.
Really? Is that it? Your Optivisor wasn't doing it anymore?
Yeah, I had a number 10 Optivisor and it was insufficient. And I realized, actually, to be a little less facetious, I came from the digital world before I started sculpting minis full time. I had been doing 3D animation for video production, and I had started doing 3D. Stop me if I get boring. I started doing 3D.
All right,
stuff.
that's enough there, Bobby.
Okay, very good.
Keep going. No, keep going, Bobby. Keep going.
I started doing 3D modeling back in the 80s on my old Amiga. I had some software called Turbo Silver. Google it; it will blow your mind. I started doing that enough of that I got a job doing it, and I did that for 10 or 11 years until I started doing this, and then I switched to doing this. But I was doing this in a traditional medium, and so when finally I kept playing with the digital thing, hoping that the technology would get to a place where I could employ it to make miniatures, and it never was there until whenever it was. You know, it's been 5 or 6 years now. But when ZBrush implemented the Dynamesh functionality, it changed the game. Once Dynamesh became available, it really became like magic clay, and you could sculpt in it. It was no longer engineering a model; you were really sculpting. And at that point, I was able to switch.
And
then once I had switched, I realized I couldn't see.
Did you did it up your game right away, or did you take a big step back before you could step forward? Does that make sense?
I think it upped my game because for a number of reasons. ZBrush is more of an artist medium than green stuff is. Green stuff sucks. Green stuff is.
It's hard.
It's really unpleasant.
Yeah.
You know, so you can work all over a sculpt when you're sculpting digitally, like you're supposed to if you're sculpting in clay, or if you're painting. You know, you work all over your canvas. When you're sculpting it digitally, you can work all over a piece, whereas when you're sculpting in green stuff, you really have to sculpt in components.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot easier to engage your art mode with digital art than it is with green stuff.
When was the last time you touched green stuff?
Just a couple of days ago, I was converting some figures I was playing with.
Yeah. And so the other nagging question at me was, how did this fixation with meadow green come about? Because you just seem to be
Oh,
obsessed with meadow green, and while it's a
well,
really good color, it just seems that you have an odd fixation with it.
well, I really, I'm an old school guy, and
Yeah.
I had all of my, I dip all my figures in Minwax, and I paint all my figures bases green, like the old Mike McVeigh heavy metal
Yeah.
paint guides back in the 90s. So,
Before you continue on, I just want to you disavow any knowledge of the Minwex dipping. That is not a technique that's been it's going to be supported on the crow's nest.
I will be glad to do my own feed later and demonstrate my Minwax expertise.
Yeah, you taught a class on that, didn't you?
I did. It's an overflow crowd.
How'd that go?
It
This
was
was at
fantastic.
ReaperCon last year, right? How many
Yeah,
people asphyxiated in the class from the smell of the Minwax?
there were no fatalities, but everybody in the class got between 4 and a dozen figures completed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
4 to 6 in a 2 hour and 45 minute time
4
frame.
to 12.
4 to 12.
4 to 12 figures completed.
Wow.
To my standard, anyway.
To your standard. Well, I appreciate that standard, because if I ever paint anything for you, I know that your standards are where they're at. You're not holding me to those as well, right?
No.
All
Well, I'm definitely a certificate of merit type guy.
Hey, so I see Bob and Julie on there as well. Hello.
they?
Yeah, they were on.
Oh, hi. Hey,
they
Bob. Hey, Julie.
they said they were old, but they're not. Bob and Julie, I would like to have you guys on the show soon. Please,
Oh, there's Jason, too.
yeah, Jason's on there. Gene is on there. Yeah, it's kind of feel like there's some pressure here, right? There's a lot of people on today.
Yeah, now I'm nervous.
Wow, are we still on?
I guess so.
We are experiencing some bitrate dips again now, because there was
Okay.
a big buffering wave for everyone about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we
Wavy
lost a
DL
lot of
says
people.
you can control Z digitally, and that's a fact. The
Yeah.
undo function is great.
Is that the way to go?
Yeah. I mean, if you screw something up with green stuff, you
Yeah.
gotta, it sucks.
Yeah.
Digitally, you just zap it away.
Well, did you enjoy last Friday night?
Oh, I really did.
Was that fun? That was so much fun.
That was super fun.
And for those that don't know what we're talking about,
I'm getting the lag now.
yeah, Rhonda's on. She said she had to reload as well. So? Whose fault is that? Is that me?
That's your internet, and also Bobby is also having his own separate internet issues.
Oh, but there's
All
nothing
right.
going on here. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we got a quorum of internet losers.
So, yeah, I mean the D&D thing was,
Friday.
yeah, it was last Friday.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like being on the TV or on the internet. It makes me uncomfortable.
You did a good
But,
job.
Well, Frank, I attribute that to Frank. I think he is really good at making us very comfortable, and we're just playing the game.
Yeah.
It's not like we're doing anything. I just think he's good at it.
No, he's really good at it, and he's good at setting up a story and telling a story and everything. I mean, if the person who was switching between the cameras would keep up a little bit better,
Yeah.
that would help. But,
Oh, well,
You
every
know-
chain has its weak link.
yeah. I mean, it shows. It shows. I wasn't surprised by any of it really, but it'll get better. I'm assuming. But that's like, have we settled on every other Friday now? And
I
so
think that's the deal.
Won't
And
be on.
they've uploaded it to YouTube.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
know. So now you just got to be careful what you say. It's like, oh my gosh. When I realized that they had uploaded it to YouTube, I thought, what kind of idiocy did I say that is now irretrievable?
Right. And
Yeah. So,
and you being linked with cloacas is
I know. See, this isn't
forever and
good.
ever. Yes. Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
You make one cloaca joke and you're on YouTube forever.
Well,
As the cloaca master, even.
yes.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You are known. That is your go-to now. I was gonna just find a picture of a cloaca and load that up as your image today, but we went with your little profile pic better. So, can you see that? Okay? So there's the beginnings of the freehand, and we're just kind of roughing in some shapes, roughing in some designs. I'll typically just kind of work. Let me flip it over so I can get at it easier, and then make some more little circles. And where it will look up kind of rough is, especially at the end, we'll do the magic of glazing and glaze in some tinting above, and they'll just kind of hide everything together. God, it is different though, I'll have to say, and I've heard this from a few other people that paint on the streams, and it's still kind of a new thing to me, is getting the right hand position and then keep it in a frame, and it's not the same hand positioning that I would normally do. So I would normally probably have it, which you can't see since it's on the camera, but I'd have it off to the side. So trying to hold it in frame is just a different kind of position than how I would normally hold the brush. But so Bobby, are you there?
He might have lagged out on us. Let's see.
Yeah, Bobby says lag. Hashtag King Cloaca.
Well, while we wait for Bobby to reconnect.
Right.
Okay, I'm reconnecting. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to you. You were here and then you were gone. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I wanted to. Did you? Oh, so last week with Jason, I picked out a few. I went through my cabinet of stuff that I had painted of his, and
Okay.
still had them. And I found this from.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, rule number 7, travel light. And
Yeah.
this was one of your chronoscope figures. And I think I may have painted this maybe the first year or so I started coming to ArtistCon. It was kind of like one of my little things. This is one of your little dudes. And I thought about him because, boy, I need to redo him. But anyways, he's part of the new Kickstarter. I saw on the little thing. Did you see that? He was part of this Bones 5 Kickstarter? Did we lose Bobby again?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, so that was this guy. And then
That's very cool.
Yeah, so he was cool.
I had forgotten all about that guy. Is he in this Kickstarter?
Yeah, he's in whatever that expansion is of the post-apocalyptic kind of folks, right? And then this was one of the 25th anniversary figures, and Ron had me do this for whatever month it was, but I liked it so much.
I haven't seen that paint job. That's cool.
I kept it, yeah, and it's just more. This is even more exaggerated of the freehand, making it just like a wizard. So he's going to have these big bold lines and all that kind of stuff as well, and some dots too.
That's pretty cool.
So it's if you're going to have you guys on, I just kind of want to show off some of your sculpts the way that I've painted them. Kind of a double tag there too as well. So now you've been painting lately. So one thing in this, we will make a new rule for guests, is to have their phones turned off before we start broadcasting. Right, Bobby?
Well, I have everybody blocked, but that's my mother. I wonder what my mother wants.
Is she okay? Do you need to check on her? I mean, we want to make sure everything's okay, right? Is she staying quarantined?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she is.
Okay. Well, So, well, tell me, what else is going on with you? Does anybody have? Wait, hold on. Before you answer that, does anybody have any questions they want to ask Bobby, or even ask me? But probably more ask Bobby. One question that was asked last week is, do you ever get like artist block? Do you know what I mean? Do you ever run into those things like, today I'm sucking at it. I can't do it. It's your main job, so you really can't have those kind of barriers. But do you ever come across that?
Very infrequently, because most of the time I'm not having to do anything creative.
Okay, say that. Yeah, what does that mean?
That means that they'll send, Ron sends me a piece of art where Izzy had to be very creative, and then I'm a 3D Xerox machine. I just make what Izzy has already drawn.
You're really selling yourself majorly short there.
Well, I'm not saying that any old clod could do that, but I'm saying that I don't have to come up, well, how's the earring going to look? Oh, how's the loincloth shaped? Where does the fur go? I don't have to worry about all that.
Yeah.
I don't have to engage that part of my imagination for most of the jobs I do.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time, they pay some sucker like Izzy to do it.
Ah, okay. So Vigo Peeps.
So when Izzy winds up with the artist block.
Vigo Peeps ask, are there any ideas for figures that you've always wanted to sculpt but just haven't yet? Like in your own kind of like, I want to do this. Do you do a lot of sculpts for yourself, or is this just a job and you're just whatever you're getting commissioned to do? Does that make sense?
I do a lot of sculpts for myself, but they're just, on my hard drive.
Oh, okay.
But my secret fantasy.
Yes. What's your secret fantasy? I think everybody wants to know.
My secret fantasy is cavemen and women.
Cavemen and women.
Yeah.
And is that because you want to play a game with them, or that's just where you're going right now in your mind?
I don't know. It's a recurring theme. I mean,
yeah.
I've got Ron did that banner of Raquel Welch from 1 million years BC for me.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of a thing I like.
Yeah.
Not just Raquel Welch, but
yeah.
Cavemen. Not real cavemen. I'm not really interested in paleoanthropology or anything boring and scientific. I want cavemen fighting dinosaurs.
Okay. And so I had a ulterior motive in asking that question because here comes Abran.
Ah, there he is. So frolicsome.
So this is not a commissioned or purchased going to be in the Reaper line figure yet, and I'm going to use air quotes on the screen because Bobby and I are still hard selling this to the director Ron, right? It'd be nice to have this made, but this is my D&D character envisioned in the twisted mind of Bobby Jackson.
Can you hold him closer to the camera?
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see that.
Oh, he is so frolicsome.
He is very frolicsome. But yeah, he's
hot.
Yeah, so why did you go with this kind of pose and
He's a wood elf.
Do you remember the story behind how we got to the homoerotic kind of elf?
It came out of the exposed abdominal muscles, and his 6-pack became an 8-pack, became a 12-pack, became a sexy pack.
Yeah, Michelle, my wife, was very impressed with the V that you sculpted in his abdomen. His little path leading down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really kind of makes you uncomfortable.
Ruglips here. He's a wood elf.
Stop it! Stop it!
He is a wood elf, exactly.
Stop it!
Yes, fur bikinis for the win.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then that's funny.
Yeah, he's a frolicsome wood elf. I mean, what else are you gonna? I mean, a wood elf. That's what they do.
Yes.
They're frolicsome.
So I just started painting him up last night, just goofing around.
I love
He'll
it.
be one of my little characters. So I really appreciate you sculpting this.
Of course.
And
do
if
you
he,
do you have the less frolicsome version?
so when Bobby sent me this file, this turnaround to say, here you go, here it is, because I've been bugging him. We had a D&D group, which is Clawtown's kind of the name of the group that Kevin Williams is running forever, and I've run my little Abran characters, and he's had various iterations of miniatures representing him over the years.
And it's the group that Rhonda just painted the halfling for.
Exactly, yeah. Clawtown is now migrated over to the errant thing, so we're using similar characters, even though I think I'm the only one that kept my character from one form to the next. But anyways,
Yeah, everybody got new ones.
everybody else got new ones. I like my little wood elf. Anyway, so this was Bobby's first go around on it, and I'm not going to say exactly what I tweeted or messaged back to him, but because we want to be careful not to say anything that then goes out on the internet. But then we ended up with a little more clothed version. He still has his 8-pack of abs going on there, and I just have a
Yeah.
light base coat of flesh tone in there.
But he's not mid frolic.
But he's not mid frolic. You got a really nice. You can't see it in this, but a nice little scowl on his face and a full on cloak going on too. So he's super badass as well. And I was trying to convince Ron to do both of them. Let's put him in Dungeon Dwellers, or I don't know, something. Do something with them, or
Yeah.
yeah. But I do. You got my message. I'd like to make them bigger.
Yeah. Why?
Like I don't know, because they're kind of short right now.
Also, real quick,
They're wood elves.
The wood elves are supposed to be tall, aren't they? Look.
No.
Is that the right size? They're looking
Is
pretty.
he too small?
I don't know. He's right next to your wizard.
Okay, I'll make him bigger.
Yeah. I don't know.
real quick before you guys jump to the next topic here.
Yeah.
Oh, are
yeah.
you anything that we need to change topics?
No, not at all. Not at all. You guys are doing a great job. People love your wood elf.
Wood
talk.
elf? Woody elf. Yes.
Thank you, Balrog John, for the sub way 34 minutes ago. Thank you, Grey Paladin Art. Thank you, Malin, for gifting us up.
Thank you, Malin. Thank you, everybody.
Also, we had a brief hiccup again in bitrate, so Proctor, we're gonna have to get your internet ironed out, buddy.
Oh, is it me? I think we seemed to be fine last week, and so I think it's Bobby's fault.
That's probably my fault.
Yeah, let's blame the guest, because that's easier that way. You're just going to be here this time.
Okay.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I mean, the tech side of me that fixes things is screaming, but the rest of me is fine with it.
Oh, okay. So you think it's probably my internet thing, but I don't know how do we fix that?
There's actually very little you can do about it. If it's your ISP, then there's nothing. You could call them and say, "Hey, I need more consistency," and they'll laugh at you. But I mean, there's not a hardwire would be great, but that's not really viable based on your setup. So
Yeah, no. Well, we'll hopefully it was fine last week. It was fine on that Friday before. Maybe there's some kids at home doing their
it may be a
homework.
living reality for us, and if it is, that's fine. I mean, people will still watch us, I think.
I hope so. Well, it's just it's bad quality, but
I'm already starstruck by Bobby. Like, I don't even have questions.
I know, right? There's less questions for Bobby this week as there were for Gene. I don't know why that is. Are they intimidated by Bobby or disinterested by Bobby?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say disinterested.
Hey, Frank's on.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
right.
Frank.
Frank will
Yeah,
say he's still watching. Hey, Frank, great job on Friday. You did such a fantastic job. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun playing D&D.
That was super fun.
And I'm sorry that my elf eyes were able to see the ruins when we weren't supposed to see them at that time.
When you tried to shoot the friendly bear, that was the big hiccup. Is you tried to murder Winnie the Pooh.
Hey,
That's true.
there was a charging bear. What do you do if a bear is charging at you? It was my turn. I rolled initiative, and
Yeah.
I was out in front. I'm not going to get bum rushed by a bear.
Then you murderously slaughtered the bear that the rest of the party made friends with.
The bear did not die. I hit him with an arrow. That was
And the,
it.
the wood nymph probably healed the bear anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, see, the bear is all right. You know, he's a
Yeah.
good bear.
Well, I
So
was
Even Frank
disappointed.
said it was self-defense.
yeah, it was self-defense. What are you gonna do? Yeah, what are you gonna do? So, if you guys have a Friday night where you're not doing anything, come watch us play D&D, and know that at least I'll speak for myself. I am not a experienced D&D player, and I shoot first and don't
Yeah.
really ask questions afterwards. So,
Bear, whack. Bear, whack. Sheep, whack.
but
Kitten, whack.
Oh, we have Mocha Minis in the chat here. Everyone say hi to Mocha.
hey, Mike
Hey,
Mocha, how are
Mocha.
you doing? I was watching your thing earlier today that Reaper was streaming on it. That was awesome. That was super cool.
I have to say, Mocha is probably one of the only people that I've seen on Twitch within the hobby that has just an insane energy that I don't think I could replicate ever.
All right,
Okay.
so go ahead,
Yeah,
Bob.
Cease work. Cease work. I got a question.
Okay.
I've got questions being asked you.
Okay.
All right. Dan Goodchild and Wavy DL are asking about the hardware that I'm using for sculpting.
Okay, go for it. That's exciting.
It's good stuff. This is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I used a large Cintiq. One of the, it's the one they don't make it anymore. I think it's a 27-inch. And but the machine I'm using is just a stock Dell machine. I got at Best Buy. I just went in and bought the whatever machine they had that had the fastest processor, because ZBrush runs on the main processor, not on the graphics.
Okay.
And so I just went in there, and it wasn't very expensive, less than $1,000. But I put all my money in the big fat Cintiq, which, if you're doing any kind of digital art, is the way to go. It will change your life. Chris Lewis and Gene were using them, and they kept trying to recruit me. Oh, get a Cintiq, get a Cintiq, and I was poo-pooing them,
Mm-hmm.
And but then I finally broke down and did it, and I'll never go back.
Cool. Hey, but I was going to say something about Mocha because she's on. Before I started doing this show and waiting on the equipment and getting all that worked out and everything, I went out and watched a lot of Twitch streams to see what did I like, what was like, okay, that's really good. And I'll say it because Mocha's on. I'd say it if she wasn't on. I was always impressed with her show. I just thought she really did a good job, and she was super energetic and paid attention to the screen, really had a awesome, persona, attitude. She's always had that. But yeah, I was always impressed with that. So I want to try to copy her to a certain degree, at least with the energy, right? That's nice of me to say, right?
You are a cheese eater. Oh my gosh. What?
Wow.
You owe her money? What? You're sucking up hard.
I don't owe her any money. I just thought she was really good. I mean, I've seen some other ones that are just like, it's watching paint dry, and she keeps it exciting at the same time while you are watching paint dry. So,
Well, cool.
yeah, I thought she did a really good job. I'm impressed, and I like that Justin's linking her in for streaming and stuff with Reaper. I think it's a good win-win. I mean, I'm not cold and callous like you are, Jackson.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that's a legitimate excuse. I'm gonna say that I buy it.
So, are you done with all your Kickstarter stuff?
Yes.
Did you finish your level and everything?
Yes.
So, here's a question. Now, you're a burner and a churner, and you'll sculpt pretty much anything. Do you ever get concepts from, I don't know, Ron or somebody else? You don't even have to say as Reaper, but that you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sculpt that. Okay.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Now, yeah, I do. I guess I'm not like, oh, this it's just dumb. But
Is it concept art that you're getting, or is it more of like just an idea, like someone's like saying, hey, I want to contract you or freelance you into doing these sculpts for me, and here are my concepts, or just verbally, or
well, I get offers
yeah.
for things, but fortunately I'm in a place career-wise where I can tell. I don't, I don't have to take every job like I did.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes with an idea that doesn't titillate me, then I can say no.
Okay.
But like, I'm not. I don't want to hurt Julie's feelings because she's a genius. But I don't want to sculpt barnyard animals. You know,
Barn.
like I've seen like Julie sculpting. I saw this. I forget what they call them. On the sides of a pocket knife, she had sculpted the slats that go on the side of a pocket knife.
Yes.
Years ago, sculpted these horses running through a river
Yeah.
on this little tiny pocket knife, and it was amazing. And I have dreamed it was just really cool.
Yeah.
But I would not want to sculpt horses running through a river.
Real quick now, I've actually seen a second notification here that someone said that they thought Bobby was really low. So, a couple of things, Bobby, if you could try to talk closer to your mic.
Okay, sorry, I was getting too relaxed. Is
Yeah,
this better?
that is better. However, if you could also go into your output on Discord and bump your volume there too for me, please.
You want him to bump his?
Correct, since you bumped
Okay.
it pre-show, remember?
Yeah. I can.
I'm trying to bump it evenly here so we don't get an explosion that
Okay.
comes with too much gain.
A Bobby explosion.
Yeah, you don't want him to top out and clip and sound like crap.
Yeah.
We still want to preserve
How's
that
that?
like, dulcet tones of Bobby.
Ah.
Is that better?
Let's ask the crowd here. Talk for us, Bobby, and then everyone give us feedback on it.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 2 3. 1 2 3. Check 2 3. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Oh, what a great show! Right. blah blah blah.
Yeah. This is just.
Okay.
We're gonna win a Twitchy award with this show.
I tell you what, we are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Frank says it's better, so let's stop.
Okay. Let's just
Let's
stop with that.
boring people.
Yeah.
Enough.
So Bobby, have you ever
No,
sculpted
Wavy
a?
DL says it's nope, still quiet. Turn your volume up, Wavy.
Yeah. Buffer. Yeah, you are buffering a little bit, and I'm sure that's my fault. But
Hey, your internet just absolutely tanked. Hold on a second here, Proctor.
oh, yeah, we went offline.
Like it just tanked. Hold on.
Oh my God, this sucks. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. I can fix some stuff on this end.
Yeah.
Do this for me.
Yeah.
Go offline on your stream real quick for me.
In stream or in Discord.
In OBS.
Okay. Oh, just go. Be right back.